Confidence is the silent language that speaks louder than words. When you walk into a room with your head held high, your posture steady, and your energy calm yet undeniable, people notice, even if they do not immediately realize why. Confidence is not about showing off or dominating conversations. It is about being fully aware of your own value and letting that awareness guide your actions. A woman can sense authenticity from a mile away, and when she encounters a man who carries himself with quiet assurance, it sparks curiosity and admiration. This is the kind of presence that naturally draws attention, not because it demands it, but because it radiates stability, security, and clarity. Confidence manifests in subtle ways: the tone of your voice, the ease with which you navigate social situations, and the way you handle challenges without panic or apology. It is in the calm patience you exhibit when things do not go your way, the grace you show when receiving praise or criticism, and the consistent respect you extend to those around you. By cultivating confidence, you create an aura that is magnetic, making a woman feel intrigued and compelled to understand the depth behind your composed exterior. Building confidence starts with understanding yourself deeply. Knowing your values, your strengths, and even your limitations allows you to navigate life without constantly seeking external approval. A man who is comfortable with who he is does not need to exaggerate his accomplishments or fabricate stories to impress. His authenticity is enough. Women are particularly attuned to this level of self-awareness because it signals emotional intelligence and maturity. Confidence is strengthened when you pursue your goals with focus and determination, regardless of whether anyone is watching or acknowledging your efforts. It is reflected in your ability to make decisions decisively, handle adversity without losing composure, and engage with others respectfully while maintaining your own boundaries. The more you invest in personal growth, skill development, and self-understanding, the more naturally your confidence shines. This does not happen overnight, but with consistent effort, the energy you emit begins to influence the perceptions of those around you. It becomes a subtle yet powerful form of attraction, one that encourages curiosity, respect, and ultimately, desire. The way you communicate is another pillar of confident presence. Words, gestures, and expressions must align with your inner assurance. Speaking with clarity, maintaining calm eye contact, and listening attentively all convey that you are grounded and capable. Humor, delivered effortlessly, demonstrates comfort and social intelligence, allowing others to feel relaxed and engaged in your presence. Even silence, when used appropriately, signals that you are self-contained and do not rely on constant validation. This combination of self-assured action and intentional communication creates an environment where interest naturally grows. A woman who initially may not feel drawn to you begins to notice the consistency and authenticity of your presence, recognizing the value of someone who embodies confidence without arrogance. Through these practices, you are not only developing attraction, but also reinforcing your own self-respect, which is perhaps the most magnetic trait of all. Emotional intelligence is the subtle power that turns ordinary interactions into meaningful connections. It is the ability to understand not only your own emotions, but also the emotions of others, and respond in ways that foster respect and trust. When a woman encounters a man who can sense her mood, empathize without judgment, and react thoughtfully, a bridge is formed even if she was not initially interested. Emotional intelligence is displayed through active listening, remembering details she mentions in passing, noticing shifts in her energy, and responding with care. It creates a sense of safety and validation, showing that you are attentive and present, rather than distracted or self-absorbed. Women are drawn to individuals who make them feel understood and appreciated without needing constant affirmation. The subtle nuances of emotional intelligence, the way you nod when she speaks, the gentle tone in your voice, or the patience you show during disagreement, communicate depth and maturity, sparking admiration and intrigue over time. Developing emotional intelligence begins with self-awareness. When you understand your triggers, your moods, and your behavioral patterns, you can interact more mindfully, Recognizing your emotions allows you to respond intentionally rather than react impulsively, which is a sign of strength and stability. This self-regulation extends to interactions with women, where your ability to remain calm under pressure, handle misunderstandings gracefully, and respect boundaries conveys reliability and empathy. Women are naturally drawn to men who provide emotional stability because it signals that they can offer support without drama or unnecessary tension. Emotional intelligence is also about perspective taking, seeing situations from her point of view without losing your own sense of identity. This skill encourages curiosity and admiration because it demonstrates that you are capable of understanding her world while maintaining your own authenticity. Communication through emotional intelligence goes beyond words. Nonverbal cues, facial expressions, gestures, posture often speak louder than any sentence. Paying attention to these cues shows attentiveness and creates a subtle connection that deepens over time. A woman who initially may not notice your presence begins to feel seen and appreciated through these consistent, thoughtful interactions. Empathy paired with patience allows her to experience comfort and respect in your company, fostering curiosity and attraction. By consistently applying emotional intelligence, you create an environment where interest develops organically. The beauty of this approach is that it does not manipulate or coerce. Instead, it nurtures genuine respect, curiosity, and desire through awareness, consideration, and thoughtful presence, making emotional intelligence one of the most magnetic traits a man can cultivate. Living a life full of purpose and passion is one of the most magnetic qualities a man can cultivate. People are instinctively drawn to those who move through the world with intention, who dedicate themselves to goals and activities that ignite their inner drive. When a woman encounters a man who is genuinely engaged in his pursuits, whether they are professional ambitions, personal projects, or creative hobbies, it sparks a natural curiosity and admiration. Passion is infectious. It creates an energy that radiates outward, inviting others to be part of that excitement without the need for persuasion or performance. Purpose gives clarity to your actions and decisions, demonstrating that your life is guided by values and aspirations rather than fleeting approval. This combination of drive and focus communicates that you are self-reliant, ambitious, and capable of creating experiences and opportunities that extend beyond yourself. Women are often intrigued by men who live intentionally because it signals stability, authenticity, and the ability to provide inspiration in everyday interactions. Purposeful living also establishes a strong sense of identity and self-worth. When you pursue goals that align with your values, it reduces the need to seek validation externally, which can be a highly attractive quality. A man who is invested in his own growth and success demonstrates resilience, discipline, and vision, traits that naturally draw respect and admiration. This does not mean constantly showcasing achievements, but rather embodying the commitment and enthusiasm for your life in a way that is visible in your interactions. When a woman sees that your attention and energy are directed toward meaningful endeavors, she perceives depth and substance, which fosters intrigue even if initial attraction was minimal. Passionate engagement signals that you are alive in your pursuits, emotionally and intellectually present, and capable of offering more than superficial interaction. By cultivating a life that excites you, you naturally encourage others, including women, to become curious about your world and the experiences that define you. The energy created by purpose and passion also shapes your communication and presence. Your conversations are richer, your stories more compelling, and your perspective more nuanced. Women are drawn to men who can discuss ideas, ambitions, and experiences with enthusiasm and insight because it conveys that life with you is dynamic and meaningful. This kind of presence also builds confidence and authenticity, as you are less likely to rely on external approval for self-validation. By focusing on your passions and goals, you create a magnetic field around yourself where attention and interest develop organically. The depth, direction, and enthusiasm you project become compelling signals of value and stability, making a woman more likely to feel curiosity, admiration, and eventually, desire. Living a life of purpose is not just a personal journey, it is an invisible invitation for others to witness, respect, and connect with the energy that comes from a man who is fully engaged in his own story. Mastering the art of subtle communication is one of the most powerful ways to influence attraction and curiosity. Words alone are not enough. The way you convey them, the tone you use, and the presence you carry while speaking often matter more than the content of your sentences. A woman may not initially feel drawn to someone, but when she experiences interactions that are thoughtful, composed, and intentionally expressive, her perception begins to shift. Subtle communication involves using eye contact to convey attention, modulating your voice to express calm confidence, and employing body language that aligns with the message you intend to deliver. These small but consistent cues communicate that you are present, self-aware, and capable of meaningful interaction. Humor, when applied lightly and naturally, adds warmth and comfort, making your presence enjoyable without forcing attention. Silence, too, is a strategic tool. It demonstrates self-possession and the ability to be comfortable without seeking constant validation, which can intrigue and draw curiosity from someone who previously seemed indifferent. The power of subtle communication also lies in listening and responding thoughtfully. Genuine engagement in conversation demonstrates that you value the other person's perspective, creating a sense of respect and emotional connection. It is in remembering small details she mentions, following up on topics with genuine interest, and reflecting understanding without judgment that attraction begins to build. Women are naturally attuned to social intelligence, and when they perceive a man who communicates intentionally rather than superficially, their respect and curiosity grow. This does not require grand gestures or elaborate expressions, but rather consistency in demonstrating awareness, attentiveness, and consideration. Subtle communication allows you to influence perception through presence and behavior rather than words alone, creating an organic environment where interest and desire can flourish over time, even when initial attraction was absent.